Good day everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. For today's video, we will discuss the very first topic in general mathematics. So, our lesson is all about Introduction to Functions. A set is a well-defined collection of objects called elements or members of the set. For example, f is equal to 4, 5, and 6. As you can see, these numbers are members of the set, and the numbers inside of the set are what we call the elements. Another example of a set is months, and its elements are January, February, March, and so on. Next one is the ordered pair. An ordered pair is a composition of the x-coordinate, abscissa, and the y-coordinate, ordinate, having two values written in a fixed order within parentheses. And that is the definition of ordered pair. The x and y value must be written in a fixed order. We can also read the x as abscissa and the y as ordinate. Next one, a relation is any set of ordered pairs. The set of all first elements of the ordered pairs is called the domain of the relation, and the set of all second elements is called the range. When we say relation, it is a set of ordered pairs. For example, the first one in the set of ordered pairs is negative 6 and 3, negative 4 and 2, negative 1 and 1, and 2 and 9. Another one is a set of ordered pairs, negative 9 and 1, negative 5 and 4, negative 3 and 6, and negative 2 and 10. Lastly, the set of ordered pairs, x and y, g and f, p and q, and v and w. That's it for the example of a relation. Domain. It is the set of values that we are allowed to plug into our function. This set is the x values or the first element in a relation. Range. The range of a function is the set of values that the function assumes. This set is the y values or the second element in a relation.
Oh my God! Wow!
Since we defined the domain and the range, can you identify the domain and the range of these given relations? Let's start with the first given. Will you please try to identify the domain and the range in the set of ordered pairs negative 3, 2, negative 1, 4, and 0, 6? I will give you 10 seconds to answer the question. Hey! Okay, time's up. If your answer in the domain are negative 3, negative 1, and 0, then you're correct. These are the domains since they are the first element or y values in the relations. And if your answer in the range are 2, 4, and 6, then you're right, since these are the second element or y values in the relations. Another given. Negative 6, 4, negative 5, 8, and 1, 10. I will give you 10 seconds again to identify the domain and the range. Hey! Time's up. So, the domain in this given are negative 6, negative 5, and 1. And the relation in this given are 4, 8, and 10. That's it for domain and range of a relation.
Nice.
Let's now proceed to the type of relation. These are the 4 types of relation. First is one-to-one relation. One element from the domain is mapped to only one element in the range. Second is one-to-many relation. One element from the domain is mapped to or more elements in the range. Third is many-to-one relation. 2 or more elements from the domain are mapped to one element in the range. And last is many-to-many relation. Two or more elements from the domain are mapped to many elements in the range.
Let's now move on to the definition of functions. A function is a relation or rule of correspondence between two elements, which is domain and range, such that each element in the domain corresponds to exactly one element in the range.
Always remember that a relation is a function if an element in the domain intersects with only one element in the range, and not a function if an element in the domain intersects with two or more elements in the range. Let's go back to the four types of relation I've shown earlier. First is the one-to-one relation. Is this relation a function or not? If your answer is a function, you're correct. This type of relation is a function because the element in the domain intersects to only one element in the range. There's no repetition of x or an element. Second is the one-to-many relation. Is this a function or not? If your answer is not a function, you're right. This type of relation is not a function because as you can see, there's a repetition of an element in the domain. Always remember that in function, the x or domain should not be repeated. It can be only used once. Next is the many-to-one relation. Is this a function or not? If your answer is a function, then you're correct. This is a function since the elements in the domain has no repetition. And last one is the many-to-many relation. Is this a function or not? If your answer is not a function, you're right. This last type of relation is not a function because the elements in the domain have repetition. Let's now proceed to the function notation. The function notation is read as y is equal to f of x. Vertical line test. It is a visual way to determine if a curve in the Cartesian plane is a graph of a function or not. Using the vertical line test, a graph is a function if the vertical line has one intersection, and a graph is not a function if the vertical line has two or more intersections. Let's try to determine the following graphs if it is a function or not. Let's start with the first graph. Applying the vertical line to the parabola graph, as you can see, the vertical line has only one intersection. So that means this graph is a function. Next, let's use the vertical line test in this graph. As you can see, there are two intersections in the vertical line. It means that the graph is not a function. Let's proceed to the last graph. Applying the vertical line to the linear graph, the vertical line has only one intersection. And this means that the graph is a function. That's all for today. I hope you learned something from our video lesson. Thank you so much for supporting our educational channel, and see you again for another lesson tutorial.
Oh, hi. Wait a minute. Who are you?